Okay, I am back after like 5 seconds of not recording right there. That's what you guys miss in between videos. 1, 2, 3. Hey guys, that's all you miss. Now, unlike Ocarina of Time, you can... Well, actually, I think you could do that in Ocarina of Time. You can kill the Skulltulas with the arrows. I know you could do that with the hook shot / long shot, but I don't remember about those. Okay, there we go. You don't have to kill those dudes, but it makes it easier for me. Yeah, you take a little bit of fall damage if you try doing that. But hey, not a big deal. Alright, so facing the ladder, you're going to want to take the left one first. The left one leads to a dead end, but it's got stray fairies. And I will admit, like, the power-up for these stray fairies is not that good, but the stray fairies themselves really aren't that hard. So, you know, an easy reward for an easy mission, I suppose. Like, the second and third dungeons, oh man, are they worth it. The last one actually is the hardest one, and it is not worth it at all, but I will have to show it off. It's something that had the potential to be a good item, but because they made it an item and not what it should have been, that is why it's not that great. Okay, am I missing one? Yeah, I know I'm missing that one up there, but I thought I had only 13. Wasn't paying attention? No. My bad. Alright, so there's all the stray fairies. Wait. Alright, so now we gotta be fairly quick about this. It's not too bad. Aim a arrow at that crystal right there. Now lower the 2 torches, or the 2 fires that were appeared there. And then you kind of want to wait right here. You just have to wait for the Deku flower to drop in height a little bit, or otherwise you're going to get up on top of this, and you actually don't want that. You want to go in the lower portion right there. And while it looks like you can't make it to the second Tiki head, you actually can. And then you get up here. Shoot those Skulltulas, or watch out for them if you didn't shoot them down. Red rupees are not worth it, trust me, unless you want to backtrack all the way through this little area. Which I doubt you do. And then there's hearts in here if you need it, but they show up as rupees here because I have full hearts. So that only took roughly 21 minutes to get through that dungeon. I am pretty proud of that. Now you actually don't face this boss as Deku Link, surprisingly, and I'm hopefully going to be able to show off a really easy strategy of kicking this guy's butt. Because if you can do this correctly, he's actually a really easy boss. He's really easy already, but you can make him even easier. The Massive Jungle Warrior Odowa, or I don't know how to pronounce his name. So basically what you want to try to do is not get kicked by him. Dude. What the heck? Dude. Just gonna hit you in the face now, dude. Is get under him and do this. Use your spin attack. I didn't do that one quite right. Dude! Now, if you take too long, he'll start saying something like, I think it's supposed to be prepare to die. But there, he's dead. And he'll summon moss at you, and you can't really kill them, and then he'll try to use a fire attack. That'll kill all the moss. But if you can get under him and use that spin attack by not holding it down, but just rotating your analog stick and hitting B, that will kill him really quickly. I think you can also use the bomb flowers over here, but I never did. I just never did. So yeah. That flower right there is misleading. There's nothing you can do with the Deku. I guess you could drop Deku nuts on him, maybe? I don't know. I'm guessing that's what it's for, but you get Olos Remains. This is proof you've beaten the boss. And because of the fact that you go back through the 3 days, Odola will actually reappear, making this one of the few games where you can actually go back and beat the boss again. And because you have proof of that, there is a Majora's Mask mark in front of the, at the very front of the dungeon, which you saw as we walked in. That will immediately take you to the boss room, so you don't have to do the dungeon. What's that? Wait, listen, it seems to be saying something. If you hear me drinking in the background, sorry, my throat was getting dry. Could that crying be its way of teaching us some sort of melody? Well, if we hear the word melody, we know what that means. Now this song, not everybody really remembers it fantastically, but it does pop up in your head, you just don't remember what it's called. It's probably one of the more memorable songs in Majora's Mask, not the most, but I'd rank it in the first half. Not counting ones that were in Ocarina of Time and this game, like, you know, Song of Time. You've learnt the oath to order, and I know I said learnt instead of learned. Excuse me. How dare I try and teach you ye old English? Call us, that's what it's saying. So what it means by call us, since you're not going to learn this for a while, I might as well tell you, it's not really much of a spoiler. The 4 giants, there's one giant in each area that's been imprisoned inside of the temple, and you free them by getting those remains. Each time you free one, you know, you're one step closer. And by call us, it means call us at that pedestal where the Skull Kid was, where we got our ocarina back, and they can help stop the moon. That is what the giants are for, and that's what they mean by call us. And you call them by using that song, The Oath to Order. I mean, that's not much of a spoiler. This game's been out for over a decade now. The 4 people Tail talked about, do you think he was talking about the spirit that was sealed inside that mask? I already said that. Oh, hey, you're pretty good out there. Have you done this before or what? Oh, yeah, only a few hundred times. I love how Tattle keeps, like, floating away from him and then sharply coming back. Now, just keep up that pace and save the other 3. Hey, floats away again. All that stuff I did to you, your horse, I apologize. Sorry. There, I apologize, so don't go holding it against me. Got it? Now then, we've helped the princess just like the monkey said, so now our next stop is the mountains. Let's hurry and do something about that Skull Kid. Where's the princess, anyway? Find out next time on, no. So just slice that to get through, and there's the Deku Princess. Who are you? I am Link. Actually, I'm Delta in this case. I never did show what my name was, but I'm using Delta for this one. Because I remember the first time I played this, I had Violet and Violet 2 saved on my system, and I actually got the 2 files mixed up because I saved it pretty much the exact same point. I was worried that when I didn't come home, that my father would think that monkey had kidnapped me. I was worried that my father would even so go far as to punish that poor monkey. Yeah, about that. Are you serious? Why so serious? Well, the kings are never as smart as the princesses. We've learned that from Ocarina of Time. So we need something to carry her. Now, this was supposed to be used in case of emergencies, in case I died, or almost died. But, since I did not, we are going to have to waste this fairy, sadly. But, oh well. And yes, that heart container did bring us up to 6 hearts, in case you're wondering. I love how our shadow's still there right now. Alright, so to the palace, but before that, we need to get our power-up for those stray fairies that we worked so hard for. And I don't need this anymore, so I will replace it with the bow and arrow, I guess. Oh, I know what I was going to put on. I was going to put on the bunny hood. Duh! Well, I don't need it now, but... And yes, all those monsters around here, they are gone. Not just because you killed them, because they will respawn if you leave the area and come back while it's still poisoned. Dude, you nearly fell off right there. Jeez, what you're doing? It's a good way to make yourself have to redo all this. Don't aim early like last time. There we go. So I think we got through that dungeon pretty well, actually. I mean, I'm sure somebody probably could have done a lot better, but especially going for all the stray fairies, because they'd have to backtrack for that one. I might have been able to get the whole thing done in one video if I hadn't gone for the stray fairies, but it's a playthrough, so you're supposed to try to get everything you can, if not everything. And I will be getting like all the heart pieces, all the fairies, and all that. Alright, so we fly over here. This will take us to the fairy fountain. And they pretty much all look alike, except for having different background colors depending on the fairies, you know. It's not like there's a secret hidden behind a pillar or anything. Alright, so this is the Great Fairy of Power. So she gives you a magic, or a technique, I believe it's just called, which would have been helpful against the boss, but hey, such is the common fact of RPGs, you know, or any video game really, is whenever you beat a boss or an enemy, you usually, if you get a weapon for it, it would probably been really helpful against that boss. But since you've mastered the spin attack, so basically, instead of having that small spin that had that little blue ring around it, you get a bigger one that's got an orange ring around it. And I'll show it off right here in a second. This is what it looks like. So it's a little bit bigger. It's actually quite helpful. You'd be surprised how much a couple of inches can actually do. And please know that that's what she said joke right there, even though I'm sure somebody already did that. Alright, so if we keep going along this pathway, that chest down there, by the way, had the 5 rupee things in it. I think I already said that it already had 5 rupees before we started the dungeon. But this one, however, you do want to go for this one. And land. Beautiful. What did we get? What did we get? Come on, just tell me what we got. Come on, just give us the answer already. Seriously. Well, it's a piece of art. What else could you expect? So that gives us another 2 more pieces to find before we get ourselves up to 7 hearts. Very nice. Alright, let's get out of here. Now there's some stuff we can do now that the swamp is cleared up, but first and foremost we want to bring the princess back. I think you're actually required to do this. Well, you're required for a mask that you never use. I know it's got one use to it, but nobody ever told me that. Nobody ever like replied saying, oh, but there's a use for it. I knew there was a use for it, but I just never actually used it, but whatever. Alright. Even though the punishment has commenced, you know, a good Majora's Mask time-wise, a good 2 hours ago, probably. More like 5 or 6, I don't even know. He's being boiled alive! They killed him. Actually, no, they didn't kill him. He's just being dunked in and out of the boiling water. He's fine. Okay, this isn't working. So we'll just drop right here. Funny. That's so funny, the monkey. I'm like, oh, they killed him! This is hilarious right here. I think we know who the real ruler of the Deku Palace is, and it is not that king. I love how they all have those mustache-like things. And that one butler's like spazzing out. He's like, It's a full body twitch that he doesn't realize he has. And the monkey's acting like he's such a, you know, smarty. Such a genius. Just laid back and cool. Alright, so they talk about how their butler prepared something for you. You can also actually take off your mask now if you want. And here's a plot twist. I'm not a Deku! I don't know. So it says to the right, which I know normally we went right, but that was not facing the palace, so this time we are going to go this way. Like I said, this is after you beat the temple. Surprised that only took 2 videos. I think the first time I did that it took 4 or maybe even 5. That actually wasn't too bad. Boom. Made it. Shoo! Made it! There I am, referencing a game that I can't play. Yet. Now the bunny hood really helps for this. Basically, this is like a maze. This is probably one of the most irritating things to do in the entire game. You have to follow this guy around through everything, and it... Man, is it hard to keep up sometimes. Left, right, center. Just stick to the right there. Like, half the time you can't even tell where you're going. You just have to have the pattern somewhat memorized and not doing stupid stuff like that. Get up there and go. And there's like gates occasionally, and if you're too far behind, it will shut you out and you won't win. No, you don't. Alright, let's take a trip off the beaten path here, because this is faster. That'll help us catch up here. Of course, he's always ahead of you. I mean, you can do stuff like that to catch up, but he will, you know, get ahead of you after that. I can't believe I actually had that much luck with that before. I've never not fallen in the water right there. That was my first time not falling in the water. That's the part that mostly gets everybody, is that little 8-way pathway right there. Whoa, hello there. Hey everybody, it's Chugga Conroy. I never understood the point of that boulder, because it's just like one boulder. It never made any sense to me, but... And this one right here, everybody gets stumped by that one as well. And you need an arrow for this. I believe you can also jump over there and cut the switch. But you don't have to. And I'd actually take off your bunny hood for these jumps, because... Oh wait. No, it's still not that bad. I remember there was like a set of jumps. Maybe it was that earlier one that had the 20 rupee platforms on it. But there was like a set of jumps. If you used your bunny hood, you'd actually over-jump one of the platforms and then you'd fall. Nah, you can't hurt those guys, sadly. It'd be kind of funny, though. So he gives you the Mask of Sense, which I said you never use. You can use it in one area, but that's it. And it looks creepy. Look at that. Boo! So he talks about his son, how he used to race with him. His son's dead, though. His son was actually that statue you see at the beginning of the game. Remember, like, right before you go to the, that area where you first meet the masked salesman? That little statue where it's like, hey, press L and hit A to talk to me. And then it said, this statue looks sad. And there's actually a point in the end game credits where you can see that.